So we're going to South Carolina. Darlene Graham is doing very well. We'll see how it all works out. We have a big crowd. I hear we have a very big crowd. And I think it's going to be great. She's a terrific woman. And so I thought we'd do a little bit of a rally for her. And it'll be very interesting.
Mr. President, Darlene Graham faced some criticism for her response at a debate earlier this week where she said national security is not her thing. Is that
Well, no, all she was is being honest. She's very smart, and she was being honest. I mean, she's into the price of groceries, the price of food, the price of beef. And it hasn't been her thing, but she's surrounded by very good people. And she said that she's totally for the military. I mean, she's going to do what the military wants and really what the president wants. She understands that national security is my thing. And she is a terrific woman who answered. I watched that. I thought it was a very honest answer, actually.
Mr. President, can you react to the ballroom, sir? Can you guarantee that no tax money will be used in the construction of the ballroom?
Yeah, we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on the ballroom, and it's all from people like me and great companies that are putting it up. It's going to be close to $400 million, and it's all paid for by patriots and patriotic companies, big companies. I'll name the companies probably over the next couple of weeks, but I want to ask if they mind. And really, most of them have said you could use my name gladly. So that's all money, no taxpayer money for the ballroom at all.
Did you direct Secretary Besson to intervene in the bond market? Was that your idea?
Not at all. No, he's a very capable man. He wanted to do it. He's very good at it. He has a good touch, very good natural touch for the bonds and interest, and he did that, yeah.
The yields have come back up since then. Have you talked to him about another type of intervention? Is that something he will be doing?
We have many types of intervention. That's one. The ultimate intervention is our military. And if we have to use that, we will, yeah.
Your move on beef imports is upsetting some ranchers, as well as some Republicans are asking you to delay that move on imports.
Well, we want to get the beef prices down, so we'll get them down a little bit. And that's what people want. That's what the voters want. And that's what I want. The ranchers are great. They're my people. I love the ranchers. They've done a fantastic job, but they admit that we need a little help and in order to get the prices down. So that's what we're doing.
Which country did you arrange?
Sorry, he's got it. We're hearing that MAGA Inc. is going to start spending your war chest. What races are you putting money into, sir?
Well, I've raised a lot and nobody knows what it is, but I will tell you it's about $850 million. And I'll be spending a lot of that money and my own money. But I'll be spending a lot of that money for candidates that I think are good, Republican candidates that I think are good. So when you add the $850 million to all of the other money that we've raised, we're in very good shape.
Mr. President, there are several Republicans who are running for midterm this year who are starting to come out against AI data centers. Why do you think they're taking a different approach than you are?
Who are they, you know?
The Senate race in Ohio is one example where it's become a very hot topic.
Well, the data center subject to me is a pretty simple one. If you pick the right location, and it's got to be, not every location's perfect for it, but you pick the right location, what it means for a community is jobs and lots of money and lower taxes. And the data centers now are mandated by me that they build their own electricity, so they're not taking it for the grid.
Do you worry that
it's going to lower the electric cost because they're building electricity and the extra, as an example, we talked about this one. I'm very proud of it. It was my idea. They're going to build their own electric producing facility. And that electricity that they have left over is going to the grid. It's going to lower the cost of electricity. So if I were a community, I would want the data center. It means jobs. It means income, and it means lower taxes.
Do you want Republican candidates to take the same AI, just to take the same message on data centers?
No, I want them to do what they want. Some people feel differently. I really want them. If the Republicans against the data center, that's okay with me. I'm only saying that if I ran a community, now there are different types of communities, but generally speaking, if I ran a community, if I was a mayor or if I was a governor in a state, I would want to have the data centers because they bring tremendous income. They're clean. They produce their own energy. The new ones are producing their own energy. I would want to have data centers.
Mr. President, national debt As you know, it's surpassed 40 trillion. Have you been discussing what to do about that?
Well, I have, and there's been a problem for 35 years. And what we have now that we've never had before, we had a pretty good piece of it in my first term, as you know, is we have tremendous growth. And the way you take care of debt is with growth. And we have tremendous growth. We've never had growth like we have right now. The growth will take care of that very easily.
Mr. President,
Good question, by the way.
Mr. President, on the beef deal, which countries did you make that deal with? What are the sources
On which
of
deal?
the beef deal?
I don't want to say which countries, but there are a few countries, but they're going to be sending in the highest quality beef, and it's something that we need. What else?
With economic
By the way, are we
pressure.
going to miss Caroline? I'm going to miss her. Let me have that. So here are some headlines that Caroline, I got to stand next to her. I feel so good with her. These are incredible headlines that just came out over the last 24 hours. It's probably easier if I show them to you than reading them. But basically, the biggest refunds ever given on taxes. That's big. Trump bump. Tax refunds jumped 17%. American tax refunds increased by $43 billion. That's money that the government is giving back to the people. $43 billion. FBI had the biggest violent crime drop in 90 years. These are today's headlines. Trump administration marks 15 straight months with zero border releases as apprehensions. So they've never had anything like that. So you had 15 months with zero people going through our border. I don't even know how that's possible, but they're doing a good job. Maybe you. Maybe you.
Scott Jennings, sir.
Scott Jennings is good. That one right there. My friend from Iowa. But I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want. I don't know. Maybe Margot. What do you think of Margot? Maybe Margot. Let's see. Who do we have in this group? I will tell you this, and Caroline will tell you this. I have never had so many job applications in my life.
Yes, sir.
They all want that job. They love that job. She's made that job very glamorous.
Sir, turning to Iran, the shifting economic warfare towards Iran, does that indicate that the military options in the region for the U.S. are limited?
No, not at all. It just means that we're seeing what happens. They have no money. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They are not paying their soldiers. They're not paying their police. They have 350% inflation. So we're just going to sort of see what happens. And we have total control, as you know, of the border. We have total control. If you look at the blockade, we have total control of that entire region having to do with the Strait of Hormuz. And that means well into it, the land areas. So they would love to make a deal, but they're not ready to make the right deal, in my opinion. Yeah.
On Canada, have you come to a deal there, or are you going to?
I think so. We'll see.
Deadline?
I dealt with the prime minister, have a good relationship. And yeah, we have to take care of our farmers. The farmers are very important to me. And the deal with Canada is moving along, and we should be able to have a deal with Canada. We're also starting on a new deal with Mexico. A much better deal for the United States.
Sir,
I only make good deals. Much better deal for the United States, both with Canada and Mexico. Thank you very much.
President, did you direct Ed Martin to resign, sir?
Why the pitch change, pivoting towards communism and socialism now? Is that a better pitch? Is that more effective?
Well, I think you heard me talk about both here. We're proud of that record. That's what we're running on. We did exactly what we said we were going to do. The contract with America year for us was in 2024, and we fulfilled those promises. And when you cut tax on tips and overtime and Social Security, when you cut tax on small business owners, you allow them to write off their capital expenditures to provide more jobs and higher wages and more opportunity for more people. That is what is getting the economy going again. Remember, we inherited a mess from Biden and Harris. After 4 years of that administration, we had a disaster in every metric of public policy. They also brought in a 40-year high in inflation. So we have been digging out from that, and we have put the principles in place to allow for the economy to take off like a rocket, and we have to keep that going. We have much more work to do. So we're talking about the record everywhere we go. And I'm telling you, I'm in ballrooms, I'm in big events, small venues, large venues, coast to coast, from Alaska to South Florida, from the east to west, north, south, everywhere I go around the country on this 30-day nonstop campaign tour. There is energy and excitement on the Republican side because people do understand this contrast, this threat of communism, socialism, Marxism is very real. And that is going to animate a lot of votes. And that's why we're going to win. One of the big reasons we're going to win.
Just a follow up. Mr. Blakeman pretty much assured their vote for speaker for you.
I heard him guarantee that. Yeah.
Better. In terms of SALT, as you know, many of the New Yorkers had to fight really hard and negotiated.
They did. Yes.
Are you, but those tax cuts expire into 2029. Are you willing to guarantee to them that you will extend that?
The New York delegation and the New Jersey delegation, I was with Tom Kaine this morning. Guys like Mike Lawler and LaLota and the others, they fought really, really hard. Nicole Maliotakis, all the delegation from New York, New Jersey, and some of the other states fought really hard to make sure that the SALT deduction was quadrupled. And they did that for you. They fulfilled their promises. And that's why they're all going to get reelected as well. There are extensions and deadlines on some of these cuts. And so that's why you have to elect new people to come in to reinforce the troops and make sure that they continue to fight for the state's interests. They did a great job. They did exactly what they said they were going to do. I think the voters are going to reward that. We'll continue these policies going forward, but you have to have the votes in place. I'm telling you, if you allow these Marxist, crazy left Democrats to take over the House, everything will stop. They will reverse all the things we've done. His opponent voted against the raising of the cap on SALT. He voted against the ban on stock trading for members of Congress. He voted to put men back in women's sports. That is not where the people of this country are, and that is not where Nassau County is, I can tell you that. That's why you have to vote for common sense. That's why you got to vote for guys like Michael Petrie.
Mr. Speaker, you said that this was a turnout election. What would you say to people who say that Trump, quote unquote, isn't on the ballot?
Well, he's going to tell you himself. We're going to have the first ever midterm convention for any party ever. On September 9th and 10th, we'll all convene in Dallas. We will be on all the national shows, 2 nights of earned media to talk about our great record of achievement, our great stars in the party, and the president. At the crescendo of that whole event, will look right into the camera and say, I am on the ballot, because effectively he is. His name is not. But the America First agenda, the principles of common sense, all the priorities that we have made to the people are on the ballot. And the president needs everybody to know that. We're going to turn our base out because they understand the stakes are so high. This is a midterm unlike any other. And that's exactly why we're going to win.
Just to confirm, would you support that SALT deduction?
Last question.
I got to go over here. Yes.
How close is New York to racism as a state for
Well, New York, look, the majority for the House Republicans runs through New York. And New York and California and a couple other spots around the country is what's going to decide it. Let me tell you where things stand as of this morning. The Cook Political Report is probably one of the main sources that people look to. They say that on election night, 75 days from today, you could expect 211 Republicans, 205 Democrats to be elected. That leaves 19 seats in the middle that are the jump ball, so to speak, the swing districts. Several of those are here in New York. One of them is the gentleman standing next to me. We are going to flip this seat from blue to red, like we're going to do other seats around the country. We are going to hold this majority and grow it. And I'll have a bigger margin to work with than just 1 or 2, as I've had this time.
Another question. The White House says a lot more entering a new phase. How long can America afford with midterm?
Yeah, look, the White House is working, the president's working around the clock every day to get this resolved in Iran and to do it in a way that ensures that the largest state sponsor of terrorism never has a nuclear weapon, because they would use it against us if they could. And that objective is one that every administration's had for the last almost 50 years. We got that done, and now we have to resolve it. I think the next phase is the economic sanctions and the pressure that will be applied by America, but then also many of our allied nations, I think, are ready to step in and assist, for example, in policing the Strait of Hormuz to make sure it remains open for commerce, that in the Red Sea and these other areas, because that's directly related to gas prices. We do need gas prices to come down, and we need this conflict to be resolved in a favorable manner. I trust the commander-in-chief. I know he's working on it. I talked to him about it last night, around the clock. He's on it, and we're going to do the right thing, and it's going to resolve in the right way, and that will bring prices down across the board. We have much more to do on the cost of living, on affordability, but you have to keep Republicans in charge to do that. You have to have a smart, thoughtful, limited government, conservatives like this to come and make sure Remember what the socialist agenda is. They want the government to take everything over. A government that's big enough to give you everything for free is also big enough to take it away. And every single time in history that this crazy experiment has been tried, it has led to poverty, human suffering, and famine. It's led to the death of innocent people around the world. We started a new website this weekend. We launched it on Fox News, contrastforamerica.com. Everybody should go and look there. We've tracked the history of communism, socialism, Marxism. In the 20th century alone, communism, Marxism, socialism was the result of the murder of tens of millions of innocent people around the world. We cannot go down that road. It is anti-American, and it will not happen on our watch. So I appreciate y'all being here today. We're going to win. We're excited. You can tell. I'm going to continue my tour around the country, and we'll get this thing done. God bless y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Just want to say thank you again, Mr. Speaker, for coming here, for recognizing how important the third congressional district is for not only the people right here on Long Island and Northeast Queens, but also for the people of America, to make sure that we protect the House majority, we grow the House majority, and ultimately have common sense representatives that actually stand by the people, rather than my opponent who says one thing and then down in DC votes against their interests to go side by side with these radical socialists. We can't have that. We want to make sure we have real people out there that say it like it is and do what needs to be done for the people of the 3rd Congressional District. And they can count on it. Mike LaPetri will do just that. Thank you, sir. Thank you.